So today your job in tutorial is going to be to complete your own credit check. It's really important that you do this so that you know kind of where you're at with your high school diploma, what you've completed so far, and what you need to complete in order to graduate. You're going to use this credit check, this green sheet, next week when you do forecasting. So that's when you get to pick all the classes that you're going to take next week. So you make sure that you do this accurately and completely, so that'll help you pick the right classes next week. So first off, we'll start by looking at your transcript. Each of you should have a transcript. It looks kind of similar to this. It'll look different depending on which grade you're in. This student is an 11th grader, so they have quite a few classes listed. Here's another example of a 9th grade transcript, so that is a lot shorter. We'll start at the top. You'll see you should have your name, your address, your phone number, birthday, date of birth, parents, all that kind of personal information listed there. You'll see this student's is blacked out so that you can't see any of their personal information. Next to that, you'll see your GPA, your class rank, and you can see your attendance throughout the years listed there as well. Next, we'll look at the credit summary checkbox, this little box right here. Right here, you'll see each of your credits broken down by subject area. So first, you'll see language arts and math, science, history, etc., etc. You'll see how many credits are required in this column, how many you've completed so far in the column next to that, and then how many you are deficient or how many you still need to complete in order to graduate. At the bottom of that little box, you'll see your total credits, and you'll see how many are required, which is 24, how many you've completed so far, and how many more you need to graduate. This student needs 5.5 more. So after that, next you'll see each class that you've taken broken down by grade level. Starting here, you'll see 9th grade, term 1, every class that you took during the first semester of 9th grade is listed there. At the bottom of each term, you'll see your GPA for that term, how many credits you earned for that term, and then your cumulative GPA overall. Each year, your cumulative GPA will refigure, and you'll see that listed at the end of each semester. You might also see on your transcript essential skills listed. This student is 11th grader, so they do have some essential skills done. Most of you probably won't see any of that on there. You don't really need to worry about it a lot at this point. Right at the bottom, there's a box that has all of your vaccinations and all your health information. That's another thing you don't really need to worry a lot about, but that's what it is in case you're wondering what that is. If you see anything at all on your whole transcript that looks incorrect, or maybe your name is misspelled, or you're missing a class, you have some 8th grade classes on there, anything that looks odd to you, make sure you circle that or make a note of it and give this transcript back to your tutorial teacher so that we can go back and check that and make sure it's correct. If it's not, then we can correct it for you so you have accurate information on there. So now I'm going to show you how to do a credit check. So each of you should have your transcript and then your green sheet and something to write with. First, on top of your green sheet, you're going to make sure you write your name very clearly so you can read it and everyone else can read it. So you know whatever your name is, you're going to write it there. Your grade level, the student that I'm doing is 11th grader, so I'll write 11th grade there. You can even see if you're doing a regular diploma, you need 24 credits to graduate. If you're working towards an honors diploma, you have 28. If you know you're doing honors, you can check that. You can leave it blank. That's up to you. So we'll start off in 9th grade. You'll see all your 9th grade classes listed here. You'll match up each class you've done with your section on your green sheet. You'll see there's a little code next to each class. It'll help you figure out where you need to put it. SC is a science class, so that needs to go in the science area on this sheet. Anything else, like LA is English classes, so it goes in English section. HE is health, goes in the health section. Math is MA, it goes in the math section, etc., etc. You'll see some classes are listed as AL. That's your applied arts electives that go in this little section. Other classes will be listed on your transcript as EL, and that's going to go in the bottom section of electives. So this student, first class they took was biology, so write biology and check off that they completed the first semester. Next you'll see that they took English, they got a B, so they passed it. We'll check off that they finished English. Health 1 is next, that one's done, check it off. You see MA, math class, integrated algebra. So you're right, integrated algebra. You can abbreviate if you're running out of space. Check it off. They have an EL elective class, goes in this area. Electives. Service learning is what they did. Check that off. There's Spanish 1 listed as AL, so it's going in this elective area. And you'll check that off. So you're going to continue going through each semester that you have listed on your transcript. If you're 9th grade, you're only going to have a half of a year or one semester on there. If you're 10th grade, you'll see a couple more sections. If you're 11th grade, your transcript will look just like this. You're going to go through and make sure you check off every class that you have completed. Once you're all done, you'll see exactly what you have done on this sheet, and you'll kind of see any empty spaces where you need to complete stuff. For example, you might have only done one semester of PE. You're going to want to make sure that you sign up for PE next week when we do forecasting. So when you're all done with this green sheet, you make sure your name is written really clearly on the top. Turn this green sheet back into your tutorial teacher. If there are any mistakes on your transcript, make sure you circle that or write a note on that and turn that back into your tutorial teacher. If everything looks correct, you do not have to turn this back in. You can keep that. That's yours to keep. Make sure you do this fully and completely, so next week when you're doing forecasting, you won't have any issues of figuring out which class you're supposed to take or not, because you'll know exactly what you have done.